Okay, this is Unit 6 review number 1. I'm just going to keep going through these tests and getting them up for you guys so that you guys can do some retakes if you didn't do so well on them. I'm just going to work through page by page, and I'm going to try to keep each video under 10 minutes. And once it gets to 10 minutes, I'll stop it and then start part 2 or part 3 or whatever part we're on. So I'm just going to go for it, and then you guys will have to work through and demonstrate your work before you get to take the test. Okay, so this unit's really talking. These questions are really talking about ratios and comparing triangle A and triangle B. So triangle B is 2 here from D to E, or D prime to E prime. That's what that little comma up there, or little mark means is prime. It just means it's the second movement. So this one's the first triangle. This is the second triangle. D matches D prime. E matches E prime. C matches C prime. Okay, and then you have our ratio. So we're looking at the height of the section, the height of angle A compared to the base, right? And so our ratio is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're just counting the number of spaces. So the height is 6, and the base is 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and then we're counting the ratio for the height of triangle B, and it is 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then over 2. All right, so now we can kind of see a relationship here, right? Like if 3 is doubled, it gets to 6, and if 2 is doubled, it gets to 4. So the relationship here is that triangle B is half the size of A, or triangle A is double the size of B. Or double the lengths and the edges. You could define size in different ways. The lengths of triangle A are blank, the size of the lengths of triangle B. So the lengths of triangle A are 2 times. Okay. And then the lengths of triangle B are half of the size of the lengths of A. So triangle B is half the size, the lengths are half the size of angle A, and again the other way around. All right, and that's it for that one. That's really just talking about ratios. Okay. Now we have this. Now we can actually start applying some of the ratios in a problem. Okay, so we have 3 to 21, and then x to 14. So excuse me. If you think about like what number do you need to multiply by to get to 21, that's going to be our factor that we're multiplying here, okay? And so we're really trying to find what x is, right? And so we have x to 3, and then we have 14 to 21. And x and 14 are the same, kind of the same lengths, right? And so they should be across from each other. And so we're going to say 14. And then 3 to 21, and then you're going to end up cross multiplying. Okay, so we have 21x there, and that's going to be 2, 3, 42. And so I'm just multiplying there. 3 times 14 is 42. So where I got the 21x from? 21 times x. So we're just cross multiplying. 3 times 14 is 42. Divide by 21 on both sides, and you get x equals 2. So 42 divided by 21 is 2. That means this side is 2. And same type of thing on the next one, except on number 3, I don't really give you like what the value of the heights are, right? But what I do give you is that the scale factor from the left to the right is 4 to 5. Find the value of x. So if we have x and 10, we can tell that the scale factor, there's a large and a small, right? And so the large scale factor would kind of pair up with the 10. And then we know that the small scale factor is x. We don't know what it is exactly yet, but we know that it's x, and that should pair up with your 4. Okay? And so we have, now just ask yourself the question. You can cross multiply, right? You can do 4 times 10 and you'll get 40. And then you could say 5 times x is 5x, and then divide by 5, and you get x equals 8. Or what you can do is you can ask yourself the question, what times 5 equals 10? And then if you know what times 5 equals 10, then you can multiply that same number and say that number times 4 must be this. And so if 5 times 2 is 10, then 4 times 2 is 8. And you end up with the same answer. Either way, doesn't matter. If you're more comfortable cross multiplying, do this. If you can start looking and going, something times 5 is 10, well, that's 2. Then 2 times 4 is x, and that gives you 8. Okay, next up. All right, I'm about halfway into my first video here because we're at 5 minutes, so I'm going to cut it short in a little bit. Okay, so it says rotate point A around the origin 90 degrees. All right, so 90 degrees is what you can do is take a look at like A, and we're rotating around the origin, and the origin is always in the center, 0, 0, right? Okay. Okay, and so what we could do is actually use a little tool. I've got this little transparency, and we're going to put a dot at our origin, and you're going to put a dot at A, okay? And then what we can do is use this to kind of rotate and see where our point ends up. And so our first one, it says rotate point A around the origin 90 degrees counterclockwise and label it as A prime. So rotate around the origin counterclockwise. So clockwise is this way, right? Going with the clock. So clockwise. And then counterclockwise is going this way. All right. So we're going to rotate it counterclockwise. So we're rotating in this direction, and we're only going 90 degrees. So each movement, so see how it's like where my blue is ending up? Every time you move it to kind of a different side, you're moving it 90 degrees. And so our point A prime is ending up right there, and that is A prime, which is 0.1, -3. 1, -3. Okay, and we're going to go back to our original point there. All right, then it says reflect point A over the x-axis and label as A prime prime. So we're reflecting. So anytime you're reflecting, you can look at it as like, if this is my mirror right here, and I'm looking at a mirror and I kind of step away from the mirror, the other one across the mirror is going to get further away. Whoops, it's going to get further away, right? So when we mirror over that line, you're going to keep it on the origin. We're going to flip it over the x-axis. And you can see that the distance from here to here is the same. So if it's 1 down here, it should be 1 up here, depending on what your reflection is. Okay, so that one is going to end up being -3, 1. And so we have A prime prime, and that is -3, 1. And you're good. And then the last one is probably the easiest one out of all of them, and it's really just kind of shifting. So if we see x being wherever x is, we can add 6 on the x-axis. So we're just going to count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to go down 1 because it says we go negative on the y-axis, and you have A prime prime prime. And that is 3, -2. All right, next up, it says translate the pre-image right 3 and down 4. So what you'll want you to focus on is the points here. And we're just going to go right 3. So we go 1, 2, 3, and this is down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. Boop. That's a big old ugly line right there. All right, and we're going to label that as I prime. The next step, we got H, and it says right 3, 1, 2, 3, and you go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is H prime. And then we have G prime, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we just move that image down and copied it. We'll draw our straight lines here. All right, so that's page 1 in the books.